Welcome back to Arc Salt Lake. It is 7:30. Nice having you along with us this morning. It is that time of year to start planning your garden for the summer and to get all of the gardening tips for the spring and to find out if this warmer than normal weather is a cause for concern. We're joined by Taun, who is an associate professor of horticulture for Utah State. Taun, thank you so much for being with us this morning, and I guess let's get right into it. What should we be planting right now?
Well, as far as vegetables, a lot of people, I think, have jumped the gun and wanted to get their tomatoes and corn and things in. It's just been too cold. Right now, radishes, lettuce, beets, within a few weeks, onions are all things that we can get planted in a couple of weeks, even potatoes.
Okay, and then how has the heat that we've had prior to right now had an impact on spring gardening?
Well, it's jump-started a lot of things 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks earlier than we wanted, and we've gotten excited, but a lot of our plants have broken dormancy already. And in areas of the Wasatch Front over the next few days, we're supposed to be getting frost, and that could be damaging to quite a few things. And I've noticed that local garden centers and other retailers have been selling a lot of frost protection, like the frost blankets and the styrofoam caps and things like that to protect things because we're so early.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the vegetables or plantings that would be the most vulnerable here in the next couple of days where it's supposed to freeze in the morning?
Well, if folks have planted, especially tomatoes, and I've talked to several nursery owners, and there's we don't even have any yet, but there are some out there. Tomatoes, peppers, and squash, if people have happened to plant those, would be the most vulnerable. Many of our cool season crops will tolerate temperatures down to the mid-20s just fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's look ahead now. We know we're probably in for a long, hot, dry summer, as our Utah summers usually are. What plants should we maybe think about planting that are a little more desert tolerant?
Well, honestly, most of the plants in our yards are going to be more drought hardy than we give them credit. We have a tendency to double the amount of irrigation in our yards that we need to. And so even with our existing plants, if we were to deep water them, to a depth, depending on what it is, of 6 inches to a foot, trees around 18 inches, they would be just fine. But as far as plants that if you're putting new landscapes in that are very useful, perennial wise, black-eyed Susans, lavender, rosemary, there are so many out there. The mint family plants, and not mint itself, but catmint, the monardas, hummingbird mint, all of those are very useful. Sedums. There's so many out there that are beautiful, and your yard actually doesn't need to look like a desert to be water-wise.
Okay, and all of our precious lawns, we're worried about that. What can we do now and planning ahead for the drier months?
Well, again, lawns, we double up the water that we need. And if the lawn is deep watered, so water is going 6 inches to a foot into the soil, and in average soil, that's usually a half to 3/4 of an inch of water, the roots will go deeper and your lawn will be healthier. It'll be more disease resistant and more pest resistant. And for the most part, even with our water restrictions, with 2 irrigations a week, it will stay nice and green.
Okay, but probably we need the proper fertilization and those types of things too, right?
Yes, fertilization should be according to how your lawn is used. The lawn, we have a tendency to just fertilize by a calendar date, and if you're only mowing your lawn once a week and that's the only traffic the lawn sees, then you can get away with 2 fertilizations, one in the spring and one in fall or late summer, and be just fine. And so if your lawn is used a lot, fertilize more. But with this hotter weather, less fertilization, you still need to get some on, but less fertilization actually will help your lawn be more water wise because it won't grow as fast and it will require less water.
Yeah, that does make sense. A lot of places, like your big box stores, they advertise the 4-step program, things like that. But that's good advice right there. So I guess finally, what are some of the steps people need to take through April, this month, and May to make sure that our gardens do well?
Well, as far as our gardens, the most important thing we can do for soil health is to mix in compost. We always want to use potions and things, and just compost, even grass clippings that you would till into the soil are great. And then just making sure and getting everything prepped. You can go out and make your lines, or if you're planting in beds, your little squares early, but you can do a lot to get ready to plant. And if you can get compost into your soil now and let it break down for a few weeks, it's that you're actually going to be a lot farther ahead than doing that the day that you plant.
Okay, well, Taun Bettis, thank you very much for being with us. We appreciate that.
Thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, great information. We'll take to heart to have a greener summer coming up. All right, take care.